OK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! Let's go to the house! Let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this trying to be the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. He can be just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
I know this game is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is Black History Month. And hold on, I had something I was supposed to say. Let me do it right. KYOK is celebrating Black History Month right here on the legendary KYOK, AM 1140 and 92.3 FM. Also streaming live on KYOKradio.org. And as I simply said, on the headline of my show, it is day one of Black History Month, but Black History Month is every day, 24/7, and it's being made right here. So I'm excited about being here. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend. Blockbuster trade between the Detroit Lions and the LA Rams. Folks in LA appear to be happy. Folks in Detroit, I guess, are happy. I'm indifferent anyway. I'm going to talk about it, but I'm going to focus my attention on a lot of other stuff. So if you are a Detroit fan and you want to get in on the big trade, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or text me 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005, or you can email me, aj@kyoksports.com. That's aj@kyoksports.com. If you are in the LA area and you are a Rams fan and you're feeling pretty good about yourself, same numbers, same contact information, I want to hear from you. Valencia King, I am Valencia King. She is definitely a king, but she is definitely a queen. And Valencia, tell mom, dad, and the crew, I said, what up, though? What up, though? Happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. We didn't have you back on the show. What's up with that? What's up with that, host of The Dialogue and Real Talk Sports? I followed your coverage of the Mavericks last couple of games. Mavericks are messing with my blood pressure right now. I know it's early. I know last year they kind of got off to a slow start, and then they picked it up, and then of course all heck broke loose, and then they went off in the bubble. But They said hi back at, okay. You know what? I love y'all family. I love your family. They be right there together, man. I like that. My family wasn't like that. Me and my sister come home from school and there'd be food up on the stove. My mom worked at night, so she did what she could during the day, but she had to go to work at night. And I'm talking about overnight. So we didn't have all those kind of family gatherings. In fact, I'm trying to think. My flesh and blood sister, my mom, I'm trying to think of the number of times that we had dinner at the same table. Now, I'm just telling you right now, don't go off on my mama talking about what kind of mother is that. I just said she worked that night and it's Black History Month and I'm liable to go off. So don't talk about my mama. She's in heaven and I don't want your words and your energy on her. But I'm just saying, as a young man, I'm trying to think of the number of times we had dinner at the same table. It was few and far between. I think one of the things I want to do at Black History Month, do some different things. What are some of the things that you remembered about your family, about your Black history experience with your family? Like, what were some of the traditions that y'all started? What were some of the things that y'all did? That would be very interesting to me. I'm not being negative about the whole dinner thing. It's just I don't remember it. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't remember. One of the things I love about Valencia's family, I love how they celebrate each other. They celebrate, each other. She celebrates her parents' anniversaries. They celebrate her accomplishments. Dad celebrates mom. Mom celebrates dad. There's no competition in that family. I love it. I absolutely love it. And that's why I gravitate to them. One of the many reasons why, but I gravitate to them because of, the way they handle themselves. So if you come from a Black family, and even if you like Todd, where you were raised in a Black family, I want to hear some of the traditions that y'all had that were just memorable, life impacting. 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or text me 832-403-5005, or email me aj@kyoksports.com. If you want to hit me up on the gram, it's at @lunchbreak_KYOK, at @lunchbreak_KYOK. I need y'all following me on the gram. I need more followers. Valencia King said, that's because it's our anniversary. LOL. They can't celebrate without me. I know that's right. I love that. But listen, so y'all, hold on. This is our anniversary, and I'm up in here. I absolutely love that. I'm serious, man. I live vicariously through the King family because there's so much love there. There is so much love there. And I'm not even going to say, and I know that they have problems. Listen, I'm not even going to focus on that. There's so much love there, and it's so contagious, and it runs over to the point where some dude that they didn't know before a couple of years ago, when we bumped into each other at, was it the Rockets game or was I up in Dallas? I know we bumped into each other at both. But from those days on, we became family. We literally became family. And that's one of the things that I love about being a member of the Black community. It's a community. The adage, the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, that came from Black families. Don't try to appropriate that. That came from Black families. That came from Black people. It takes a village to raise a child, came from Black folk. So yeah, and again, if this kind of talk offends you, you're gonna be jacked up all month long. You better hit me March 1st. You better get at me March 1st and hope that I'm not. It was at the Houston game. Yeah, I remember it, man. I think I was sitting in my space, and one of y'all walked behind me and kicked my chair. Was it you? I think it was you, Valencia, kicked my chair. I was like, wait, hold up. Then I turn around, I see these queens, and I'm like, oh, hey, how y'all doing? Y'all local? I'm like, y'all local? We've been family ever since. In fact, I'm going to need you to mask up and come through. Rockets made it 5 wins in a row. Rockets have won 5 in a row. and I'm liking the vibe. I said on the Twitter that they're starting to vibe, and they are. We'll be right back after this on the lunch break.
My name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like a gazillion dollars. And they didn't have a gazillion dollars. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they're able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject and every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680. I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
You're listening to Shiloh Radio, the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and the all-new 92.3 FM, where you will be encouraged, inspired, and ignited to reach your maximum potential in life of Jesus Christ with Shy.
I gotta give some love to my girl Shiloh Radio Thursdays, doing her thing. Very inspirational radio right here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is Black History Month, and you can shop for African fashions for the whole family at African Imports. Here are the Black History Month specials. You can get masks for $4.99, scarves and hats for $9.99, kids dashikis for $14.99 and up, adult dashikis for $29.99 and up, and dresses for $39.99 and up. Do you have an upcoming Black History program at your school or virtual church event? Then you want to stop by African Imports in the Greenspoint Mall and mention KYOK. You'll get 10% off your purchase. That's at African Imports in the Greenspoint Mall, not far from the food court. 281-875-00 0056 is the number to dial. That's 281-875-0056. I got their link on the show information right there on Facebook. But again, please check out African Imports. Got this shirt there. Got a lot of the other gear that I rock from African Imports. And be sure and ask for Opie. Tell him AJ sent you. He's going to take good care of you. All right. So let me give you the origin of Black History Month, because a lot of folks don't know. A lot of folks don't know. You know, they think they do, but they don't. Let me tell you, Black History Month is an annual event observed in the United States and America. It's also known as African History Month. It has received official recognition from governments in the U.S., Canada, and more recently has been observed in Ireland, the Netherlands, and the U.K. It was started in 1926 by a man named Carter G. Woodson, in association with the study of Negro life and history, announced that the second week in February would be Negro History Week. This week was chosen because it coincided with the birthday of Abraham Lincoln on February the 12th and Frederick Douglass on February 14th. So, you know, for the folks who's like, oh yeah, they gave us the shortest month of the year, you know, to celebrate, it was kind of strategic. It was kind of strategic. It was kind of strategic. Both of those dates, Black communities had celebrated together since the late 19th century. Negro History Week was the center of the equation. The thought process behind the week was never recorded, but scholars acknowledge two reasons for its rebirth: recognition and importance. Let me say that. The two reasons for Black History Week, or Negro History Week as it was called, was recognition and importance. Woodson felt deeply that at least 1 week would allow for the general movement to become something annually celebrated. Also, after the 10-year-long haul to successfully complete his Journal of Negro History, he realized that the subject deserved to resonate with a greater audience. This brother spent his life recording Black history and was able to put together a week around two historic days or figures as it related to Black history. And then, of course, it went on to become what we know now as Black History Month. So again, Carter G. Woodson. Carter G. Woodson is the name that you want to remember. Is the name that you want to remember. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, so be sure and check it out. United States began to recognize Black History Month officially in 1970. It was first proposed by Black educators and the Black United students at Kent State University in February 1969. The first celebration of Black History Month took place at Kent State 1 year later, January 2nd to February 28th, 1970. Was the first celebration of Black History Month. Kent State, man, that school did a whole lot in our history. They obviously had a big impact on the Vietnam War with their protests there, and unfortunately that turned ugly. But for them to be the first place in the United States that celebrated Black History Month back in 1970 is significant. So there you go. Got a lot I'm going to be talking about Black History related this month. So, like I said, if that bothers you, if you want to know, there shouldn't be a Black History Month. It should be all history. Well, if y'all did that right, we wouldn't have to do Black History Month, but y'all don't do it right. Y'all don't do it right. Example one, look at the Major League Baseball. Now that they have included the Negro League stats as part of Major League Baseball, they're tamping them down. They call themselves investigating them, authenticating them. But what they're doing is they're tamping them down. Oh, yeah, instead of 900 home runs, he had more like 200. Oh, instead of like 15,000 strikeouts, he had more like, 275. One thing about Black history, especially in sports, you're not going to be able to go to some book. You're not going to be able to go to some national media source and get all the accurate history. Why? They didn't cover it accurately, if at all. You're going to have to go and do some actual work. Can't go to some almanac. Can't go to some encyclopedia. You got to go and do some actual journalism. You have to go and talk to some people. You're going to have to go and talk to some of the family members and the descendants of some of these great Negro League players, and you're going to have to trust the sources. What's crazy to me is that very few people alive today were around when Ty Cobb was doing his thing, was around when Babe Ruth was doing his thing, was around when some of these legendary baseball players were doing their things. But baby, as long as they can, go to some national media source, whether it was accurate or not, they authenticate it. But let it be the Negro League guys. And then all of a sudden, no, we're working on it. We're trying like the Dickens to verify the information. Right now, instead of 900 home runs, we're up to about 20, 15. But those folks can be recognized as official Major League Baseball players. Yeah. So anyway, happy Black History Month. We're going to be talking about it all month long. All right. Blockbuster trade over the weekend. The LA Rams sent quarterback Jared Goff, their number one pick at quarterback from just a couple of years ago, along with 2 first-round picks and a third to Detroit for quarterback Matthew Stafford, who's only 32 years old and in his 12th season. Good trade? Yeah? Nah? Excited? Are you a Lions fan? Are you excited now that you got Matthew Stafford out and Jared Goff in? Rams fans, are y'all excited now that y'all got Matthew Aloysius Stafford in place of Jared? I was all right, Goff. I was kind of surprised by Jared Goff's statement after the trade. I'm excited to go to a team that wants and respects me. Are you saying that all that money the Rams gave you wasn't respected? Are you saying all that they did with and for you didn't show that they wanted you? Are you saying that you bear no responsibility about part of the trade, like your turnovers, like your inability to make big plays at big times? The whole, I'm just really glad to go to a team that respects me and wants me. Are you telling me the Rams disrespected you and didn't want you? What happened to its business, the business of football? Like everybody tells me when somebody, like Jadeveon Clowney gets traded away and he wanted to be in Houston, oh, it's just business. Doesn't sound like Jared Goff thinks it's business. Feels like he thinks it's personal. Oh, they didn't want me and they didn't respect me and now I'm in Detroit and I love them. Okay. All right. Matthew Stafford, man, woke up one morning having played a ton of seasons in Detroit and found himself with a true contender and the Rams and one of the best defenses around. Can Matthew Stafford be the next Trent Dilfer or Brad Johnson? I kind of think so. He don't have to do a lot. Just don't do what Jared Goff was doing. Don't turn it over. Don't put your defense in bad situations. Put about 14 up. Y'all can win. I'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break. This segment brought to you by OMG Tires and more right after this on the lunch break.
Hi, I'm Linda J. I recently purchased 4 new tires from OMG Tires and More, located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen. TK got me in and out in less than 30 minutes. While there, I got my car washed. Do you need rims for your car? OMG has them too. OMG Tires and More is your one-stop shop for all your tire needs. So give them a call at 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen on the north side.
Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, maybe losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject at every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
Let's be honest, wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-262-4690. 800-262-4690. 800-262-4690. That's 800-262-4690.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org.
The lunch break, where sports are the special of the day on the legendary KYOK.
Hi, y'all. Back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Also streaming live on KYOKradio.org. It is February 1st. It's the first of the month. Oh, I'm sorry. I probably can't be singing that. But anyway, it is day one of Black History Month. Officially, every day is Black History for me. But anyway, it's day one of Black History Month, and we are celebrating right here on the lunch break and KYOK. It's got a lot of good text messages that came in and email messages about Black history traditions and their family. Philip said, yo, remember that movie, Soul Food? Literally, that was my family. We weren't big on church folks as church folk, but we would always get together for the big Sunday family dinner, and it continues now. My sisters have taken over for my mom, who's up there with your mother in heaven. Phil, that's a good message, bro. That's a good message. And he talked about, the different kind of foods and and stuff like that. He said he was always on plate and paper product duty, plates and paper products. So, you know, Phil, I love that, man. I'm telling you, those kind of get-togethers are memorable and priceless, and I'm glad to see y'all are carrying on those Black history traditions. Kenneth said, AJ, one of the best traditions that we would go back to where my grandparents are from, and sit around and listen to the old stories about their lives coming up. It's good to know because we now know a lot about our roots. Kenneth, that's a good one as well, bro. That's a good one as well. Let me get another one in here. William said, man, one of the traditions that I keep with my son is we go back to my great-grandparents' home and we clean up the property, and I share with him about all they had to do for our grandparents and his parents to be here. Man, that's deep. That's deep. That's deep. What I love is a lot of these are small towns, because he listed the place where they're from. A lot of these are small towns, and I got to tell you, if you don't go back and maintain your history, they will write you out. They will write you out. I'm shouting out to my brother Broderick out there in not Brookshire. Man, I can't think of the little town that his church is at. And I told him, man, y'all got to go down to the city where they keep the deeds and the restrictions and what have you, and the titles and stuff like that. You'd be surprised at how many properties that people just kind of claimed as their own, and they have no deeds to them. They have no titles to them. And a lot of those deeds and titles are still in families' names that have left and are no longer there. Like, they're not going to let your land just sit there untended to when they can claim it for themselves. So, I'm just saying, when you're from one of those little small towns, do some research, do some history on how some of that land got divvied up, especially if your family is from there. I'm just saying, just FYI, Black History Month. Black History Month. Let me get another one. PS said, man, we have a lot of traditions. A lot of times, I think spell check got you. A lot of times he says, we will share about our families from back in the day. We do family reunions every year on a regular basis, and it's a big deal. The last family reunion, we had over 300 people there. That says a lot. You're right, man. We tried to do a family reunion. Good Lord Almighty. I said it's a family reunion, not a turn yourself in and go to prison. People are like giving me a hard time about paying for it, and all you got to do is show up. If you have family reunions and it's now on your generation, keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep those family legacies going, especially if you are from traditionally Black families and cultures. All right, so anyway, we're talking about the blockbuster trade of the LA Rams sending their starting quarterback, Jared Goff, 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick for Detroit quarterback Matthew Stafford, who's 32 and in his 12th season. When you got a defense like the Rams have, and the Rams got a defense, I mean, the Rams have a defense. They got a secondary that can cover. They got a front 4 that can put pressure on the quarterbacks without, exotic blitz packages and what have you. And they got linebackers that can play as well. Their defense is legit. All Matthew Stafford has to do is not get offended by being called a game manager at this point in his career. I know Ram fans are, he can sling the ball. I was listening to Jim Rome coming in. Oh, he can sling the pill all over the yard. Okay, Jim, that's great. But you don't need him to do that. You don't need him to sling the pill all over the yard. You just need to make sure that he doesn't sling the pill all over the yard to the other team. You need to make sure he doesn't fumble the ball when and if he gets pressured. And you need to make sure that he stays healthy. Like he plays all 16 and not 12 or not 6 or not any. That's all you got to do with that defense. Hit the open man when they're open. Move the chains on 3rd down and don't turn the ball over, and you're good. And I know a lot of people want to get into Matthew Stafford stats and Jared Goff stats and all. You don't even have to do that. Nobody got into the stats of Brad Johnson when he was literally riding in the car. He wasn't driving. He was the quarterback, but he wasn't driving them to the Super Bowl. He was just riding in the car. And his job was not to, fall out, not to let stuff fall out the window, not to get left behind when they stopped. Brad Johnson's job was to just keep it in the car so that they could get where they were going. It didn't matter what his stats were. He didn't turn the ball over a lot. He didn't leave the team in really bad situations, third and forever on their end of the goal, end zone, end of the field. Didn't do a lot of that. And the defense was enough to keep them in the game and then some. And in fact, that defense was so good, they were putting up points themselves. It was the same thing with Trent Dilfer. Somebody give me a Trent Dilfer stat. Oh, yeah, Trent passing efficiency was blah, 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 blah. You don't know because Trent Dilfer wasn't a prolific passer. He was a game manager. And it's okay. Like, that's not a bad word. Those are not curse words. With that defense that the Baltimore Ravens had in 2000, all Trent Dilfer had to do was stay in the car. Did he want to throw the pill all around the yard? Yeah. Didn't have to. Hit the open man when he's open. Get out of the wrong offense when the defense does something a little tricky. That's it. If you got a punt, flip the field. Pin them down deep because we'll keep them there, the defense was saying. Ray Lewis and the squad was saying, yeah, you just pin them down deep. We'll keep them there. We'll give you good field position. You can try it again. That's all Matthew Stafford has to do from this day forward. Keep it in the yard. Throw it to the people wearing your jersey. Don't make any bad mistakes. Don't try to do too much. Put about 14 up every game. Let me look at those stats. That's what I want to look at. Let me go to the hold on. It's media day for Super Bowl 55, so I'm starting to get in quotes from the media sessions. I believe it or not, I got approved for media credentials for the virtual deal. I obviously wasn't able to be at the one that's going on right now, but the Tampa Bay will be speaking about 3:00 today, so I'll be tuned into some of that. I'll get some of the live comments from that one, thanks to the Super Bowl committee giving me media credentials for Super Bowl 55. Now, mind you, watch this. Let me show you how wonderful that team down on Kirby is. I couldn't get credentials to go to any of their games, but because of having been credentialed multiple times before for the Super Bowl committee allowed me to be credentialed this year. Interesting. Let that sink in for a second. All right, so here we go. Let me go to NFL. Let me go to teams. Hold on. Let me go to Detroit. No, let me go to the Rams. I want to go to the Rams. All right, here we go. Let me go to their schedule. All right, so watch this. Watch this. Stats. Rams during the playoffs allowed, where'd it go? 26 points per game. During the regular season, they allowed 18 points per game. So if the Rams defense was only allowing 18 points per game, that means the offense got to score at least 19. But when you got a defense like that, if you could score 14 from the offense and get 7 from, I don't know, an interception, pick 6, punt return, kickoff return, guess what? You win. You win the majority of the time. So when you got a defense, your offense doesn't have to do much. Your offense has got to find a way into the end zone 2 to 3 times per game. I'm just trying to make it real simple for you. When you're only allowing 18 points a game, your offense has got to find a way in the end zone only 2 to 3 times per game. Special teams, get in there once. Defense, put up a pointer, a few points. And you're going to win more than you're going to lose. The offense under Jared Goff averaged 23 points a game. If Matthew Stafford can come in and be a fraction of what he was. Let's look at the Detroit numbers. Let's do that. Hang on. Let's do that. Detroit under Matthew Stafford stats. Averaged 24 points a game. But the defense was giving up 32. So if Matthew Stafford can average 24 a game with that Detroit offense and your boy over in Mr. I love that they love me and they want me to be there was only averaging 24 points a game, guess what? All Stafford's got to do is come in and do what he did elsewhere. That's it. That's all you got to do. Don't turn the ball over. Don't turn it over. Don't make dumb plays where you least can afford to make dumb plays. And there we go. Got to take a break. I'll come back in just a minute. And this segment brought to you by African Imports. I'll tell you about them right after the Tax Doctor and Lily on the lunch break. Black History Month on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they're able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Lunch break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break, Black History Month. You can shop for African fashions for the whole entire family at African Imports. For Black History Month, they've got specials, masks for $4.99, scarves and hats $9.99, adult dashikis $29, dresses for ladies, African dresses $39.99 and up, and they have stuff for kids as well. If you've got a upcoming Black History program at your school or virtual event at your church, you want to make sure you stop by African Imports in the Greenspoint Mall. Mention KYOK, you'll get 10% off your purchase at African Imports, 281-875-0056. That's 281-875-0056. Tell OBAJ and KYOK sent you. Trust me when I say he will take good care of you. All right, so I got some more of these Black History Month traditions. AJ, we have some family heirlooms that date back to the 1800s that we make sure each one in our family gets a chance to enjoy. We don't have any fear of anybody selling it, losing it, or breaking them. What we care about is that everyone gets to be a part of them. That's great, man. That's outstanding. CT just sent that in. That's outstanding. Wow. Man, CT, if you don't mind, take pictures of those and send them to me. I'd like to be blessed by them as well. Man, I love that. I'm serious. When you've got older family members that, unfortunately pass away or stuff, don't be so quick to sell their stuff. Don't be so quick to pack this. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. You never know what's in that stuff that can be like CT and his family realized they got heirlooms from the 1800s that they've been able to, hang on to, and not only hang on to, but everybody in their family has been able to enjoy. You talk about your own Black history. I mean, that's outstanding. I love that, bro. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. BG says, man, my family loves our Black history, bro. I love that our family would get together and talk about the history of our family. I am amazed. And all of this was before Ancestry.com. I like that. I like that. Family gets together and they share the truth about their family. And it was all before Ancestry.com. But listen to me. Don't knock Ancestry.com. I know some people who have reconnected with family members and learned things about their family that they never would have known if they had not been there. So I'm not promoting them, but I'm saying don't knock them. Don't knock them. All right. Let's see. Who's this? Sam. What's up, Sam? Sam said, man, our history is to know our history. Once we forget our history will be lost forever. So my job is to make sure that everybody in my bloodline knows our history. Sam, I like that, bro. I like that. If that's your tradition, then you make sure you keep doing it, bro, because that's good stuff, man. That is good stuff. Sam says he makes sure that his family knows the history. All right. 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. Text me 832-403-5005. If you want to share your Black history traditions for your family. What are some of the things that y'all did growing up that you remember to this day? And again, it doesn't have to be so much for Black history celebration, but just things that you did in your family that you value, you appreciate, you remember, kind of shaped you for who you are. I know a lot of folks are talking about family dinners, family reunions. One group in there was talking about they went back to where they were originally from over in the motherland. They went back to where they were originally from over in Ghana and traced their roots and their family bloodline all the way back there. And they took 27 of their family members to do that. Very long message, but again, I enjoyed reading it. Man, y'all be surprised at how some of these folks get down with their history. All right, so we've been talking about the big trade of Jared Goff and the picks to the Detroit Lions for Matthew Stafford. One of the published reports that have been out there is that several other teams tried to trade for Matt Stafford first. Like the Green Bay Packers. Apparently, this is how it goes. The report says that the Rams called Green Bay about Aaron Rodgers before they called Detroit about Matthew Stafford. So I had it wrong. They weren't trying to trade for Stafford. They were trying to trade for Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay has denied the report. And I got to be honest with you, I don't believe them. If LA says they called Green Bay to inquire about Aaron Rodgers, why would they lie? What benefit would they get for lying about that? I understand why Green Bay would say, oh, we didn't get the call. We didn't talk to them at all. Why? Because if they said they did, it would give somebody the impression that they are fielding calls about trade possibilities for that guy. And I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers himself. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is sensitive or moody. Aaron Rodgers doesn't like to be disrespected. I mean, if Jared Goff can be running around, oh, I want to play for somebody who respects me and wants me. Aaron Rodgers doesn't like to be disrespected either. And he literally has been disrespected from the night of his draft all the way through his career. Think about it. He was supposed to be a first-round pick, went in the second round, was literally in the green room by himself, comes in behind Brett Favre and the drama that he had to go through to take over for Brett Favre. And then all he heard all his career was what? Tom Brady's the greatest there ever was, ever will be. No, he hadn't won the championships that Brady has won, but check out the stats. So if Aaron Rodgers thought Green Bay was taking calls about trading him, it'd be a problem. It would be a problem. So I get why Green Bay is lying. I don't believe Green Bay. That's why I say they're lying. But one of the other calls that the Rams allegedly made, I believe 100%, and I need you to catch this. The Rams allegedly called the Houston Texans about Deshaun Watson and then called Green Bay about Aaron Rodgers and then called Detroit about Matthew Stafford. I don't think that the Lions called the Texans about Deshaun Watson and was offering, who's the backup quarterback to Jared Goff, Sam Wofford or somebody? I don't think they were offering Wofford a fourth-round pick and a glass of water. I think that they probably offered something similar, if not the same deal. Hey, we got 2 first-rounders. We're going to give you Jared Goff, which makes it really 3 first-rounders, and a third, and we want Deshaun. So the Texans turned down literally a first-round player, 2 first-round picks, and a third-rounder for Deshaun Watson because they want to hold on to him and keep him as a Texan, even after the young man has said, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, there's nothing you can do to change my mind. I'm happy for David Culley. I'm happy for all the guys. I just don't want to be here no more. And it ain't personal, and it has nothing to do with those folks except for Jack Easterby. I threw that in. I don't think him and Jack Easterby get along at all. Whatever went on with that dude, I don't know. But the Texans turned down literally 2 first-round picks, a first-round quarterback, and a third-round pick for a quarterback who made it very clear he didn't want to be here anymore. That's a problem for me because now you better do one of 2 things. You better fix this. And I'm not talking about mend it. I'm not talking about, stitch it up. I'm talking about you better fix this, or you better get more than that in a trade for Deshaun. If that report is true, and we now know what the Rams gave up for Matthew Stafford, who, no disrespect to Matthew Stafford, is not in the same category as Deshaun Watson. Never has been, never will be. And you turn down 2 firsts, a starting quarterback, and a third-round pick? Yeah, baby. You better fix this. You better fix Nick Caserio, Jack Easterby, Cal McNair, and I guess I got to throw them in there because he's now the head coach, David Culley. You better fix this, or you better come away with more than 2 firsts, a first-round quarterback, and a third round. Because this is the same organization that gave away a dude that they should have gotten at least 2 first rounders for a second rounder, a slightly used, a little bit dented David Johnson. Oh yeah, and a 4th round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. Hey, Bridget Hill, what's up, Pastor? I mean, this organization has a history of giving away really nice players for less than what they're worth. And the Texans' house is on fire. And they either need to put it out and build it back better, or they need to make sure that they get a better house in return. And right now, they're looking real crazy. They're looking real crazy. Listen, I got to get Sybil Wilkes on here. To give her a COVID-19 update. And then after that, we'll talk a little bit more about the upcoming deal. Bridget Hill, what's your family tradition that you did growing up in a black family that is memorable for you? What did y'all used to do back in the day? Was it family? I bet y'all used to sing. Did y'all sing at the dinner table, Bridget Hill? I want to know. 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or text me, 832-403-5005, 832-403-5005. It's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. All right, let's see. Here we go. Here's Sybil Wilkes right here on the lunch break.
So today, evening, Donald Trump has announced a new legal defense team with 5 of his lawyers. Reports indicate the 5 attorneys disagreed with his idea to use election fraud as his defense. Former Congressional Black Caucus Chair Marcia Fudge has promised, if confirmed as housing secretary in the Biden administration, she will do whatever it takes to prevent people in the midst of the pandemic to be put out on the streets. Following confirmation, the Ohio Congresswoman and Authority Incorporated will succeed Dr. Ben Carson as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. The CDC announced a federal mandate that will require people to wear a face covering while using any form of public transportation. This includes buses, trains, taxis, airplanes, boats, subways, or rideshare vehicles. The order goes into effect at 11:59 tonight. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
You're listening to The Lunch Break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all, we're back up in here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Media Monday, but it's Black History Month. It is Black History Month, and we are celebrating Black history, which is made every single day. G says, yeah, man, we go back to my mom's hometown in Louisiana very often, and we really are still members of that community because we pay our taxes there. Wow. Yeah, obviously, you got a home and property there, pay our taxes there, and we try to remember our history and our roots, where we came from. Those pilgrimages started when I was a little boy, and they continue now, and I've got 3 grown sons. Hey, man, I love that. I love that. If you don't know where you came from, I mean, think about it. If you don't know where you came from, how you going to know where you're going? How are you going to know where you're going? I love it. All right. If you want to get in, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. If you're just tuning in, we're asking, what are some of the things that you did as a kid growing up in a black family that were memorable or that you're still doing now? Things that you did as growing up in a black family that you did or you're still doing now on Black History Month. I got a Black History Month tribute coming up in the second hour. Black History Month tribute coming up in the second hour. I got to do this one. I got to do this one because I love this guy back then, and I love him right now, and I just got to do it. So we'll take a top of the hour break right here on the show, and then we'll come back with more Media Monday, Black History Month, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this hollering, we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. He can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. We made it. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now that's just the first hour on the books. Second hour underway here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. Big shout out to Bridget Hill, Monique H. Smith, Nicholas Hines. Big shout out to you all. And got a shout out to my girl, Keisha Kelly. Keisha Kelly from Black College Experience is amazing. Top shelf. I'm talking about on the top of the shelf in that room in your mama's house that you wasn't allowed to go in. All the furniture was covered up by plastic. The carpet was either light or white. And you had that china cabinet in there that had stuff in there you never saw your mama use. Up on the top shelf, that's where Keisha Kelly is. That's where Keisha Kelly is. Great coverage this weekend of the Senior Bowl. There were a few players there from HBCUs. I got something that I am working on to celebrate HBCU coaches. Keith Hennick, my nerdy me got in overdrive. The nerdy me got in overdrive, and I started going back to the histories of just amazing historic black college and university coaches in football and what they did. And then I said, let me not stop there. I literally have gone through the coaching records of every single HBCU football head coach, and I'm going to rank all of them. Ain't nowhere else in ESPN, Fox Sports, 790, 610, none of them did that. Now, Keisha Kelly might have done it, and if she hadn't, I'm giving it to her so she can use it. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who this?
Brother AJ Ferdinand.
What's up, my brother? Like no other. Call of the year 2017.
Man, it's the big week, man. This is Super Bowl week.
I know it, man. They got media day going on right now, bro. I'm sitting here talking nonsense.
You'll pick it up once you get out of there, though.
Yeah, I know. I got the Tampa Bay media of it. I got approved for media credentials for the Super Bowl. I mean, dude, like I just threw it in as a, let me see what they gonna say, and they're like approved.
Yeah. Hey, AJ, who you going for?
Kansas City.
Okay. Will Le'Veon be playing?
Yeah.
I want to. Well, it don't matter. Whoever gonna win, gonna win. AJ, you're gonna have one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game, was offensive coaches, and you're gonna have one of the greatest defensive coordinators to ever coach the game, Todd Bowles. And so this is what we're gonna see this week is greatness. You're gonna see two guys who've seen it all, AJ, who've done it all when it comes to football. And the stronger team will be, ready to receive that ring.
You know what, Ferdinand? I love the way you broke that down. Because you're right. With Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy on the offensive side against Todd Bowles on the defensive side, and then you got Steve Spagnuolo on the defensive side for Kansas City against Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich on the offensive side for Tampa Bay. It comes down to this. You got one game. You've got to outsmart those other people on the other side for one game. And that's where the creativity of Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid, I think, becomes magnified. Because remember what he did last year? Eric Bieniemy pulled out a play from the 40s and ran it on the goal line at the right time when they most needed a score. And guess what they got? The score. You got to figure out those geniuses for one game. It's going to be interesting.
It is. And to my friends out there, Milo and Chi-Town, look, Doc, we're going to have to go at it. Our minds going to have to really be focused on which team can edge off to get the victory for the $600. I've had a blast, man. For whatever reason, if I don't win, I've enjoyed the competition, man. It's really been grand.
Let me tell you something. I was thinking about that when I was driving in too, because literally, again, it's one game. So not only do you have to pick the right team, but you got to come closer to the right score than ever before. This is the week where it comes down to, can you pick that score? And it's the three of y'all. It's you, it's Chi-Town, and Milo. Man, I'm serious, bro. You in my head. Get out my head, Ferdinand.
Yeah, man. It's an exciting week, man. This is, at least we got some kind of joy with all the stuff that's really going on with the COVID and the Capitol riot. This really gives us a little joy out of the pain, and I just thank God for who Jesus is.
I do too.
We've really went through a lot, and man, I'm just enjoying every day. And you forgot the other day, I did have a birthday.
Oh, my bad, Ferdinand.
Yeah.
Ferdinand.
That's okay.
Charge that to my head and not my heart, brother.
Yes, sir. Oh, no. But we end up, look, I forgot to mention it to you. We had such a good conversation on my birthday. I really forgot to mention it to you.
Well, man, listen, happy birthday to you, brother, as always. And what did you do to celebrate your birthday?
Nothing, AJ. I'm just blessed to be alive. I went to work. You got to get it. I'll have plenty of days if the Lord allowed me to live to enjoy life. I've had one day, I had 4 birthdays in the same year. And that'll last me for a lifetime. If I never have another party, I really party that year. So I've had my share, man. Just want to concentrate on going forward. What can we do to be a positive aspect in our community?
Yeah, man.
And what can we do to just really uplift those that are downtrodden?
Yeah, that's why we're asking the question today. What were some of the things that you did growing up in a black family that have become kind of traditions or were kind of traditions back in the day? And I've been getting some great ones, man. There's some good brothers that taking their kids back, to where their grandparents and great-grandparents grew up and getting them involved in the community out there. There's folks that are keeping those family dinner traditions alive, family reunions, stuff like that. What do you remember, Ferdinand, coming up?
Well, most of it just going to church and being a part of the Black History program. And I've always, AJ, tried to live the history myself.
Yeah.
My grandmother and and my great grandmother, they grew up in Minden, Louisiana, right up there past between Shreveport and Grambling.
I know exactly where Minden is. I sure do.
Yeah, and so that's when my dad was born, but I was born here. But just go there, man, and I go back and look at the home house, look how much property was there, and just trying to get all the information that I can throughout their history. Because my great grandmother, she lived to be 104.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, absolutely, man. Just God has really tremendously blessed our family to really, really live long life, and I just really applaud that. But I try to live the history of what they've done and just go visit, that small town every chance I get.
Yeah, man, that's outstanding, brother. That is outstanding. Louisiana fella?
Oh, absolutely. I guess, and my not my auntie, but my great aunt is the one who played the accordion. So it passed like 3 or 4 generations. I don't know why I wanted to pick it up. I just heard that tune, and I just picked it up and been playing it ever since.
Ferdinand, you got to let me sit in on that washboard, man. I feel like I can handle that one. I feel like I can handle that washboard. So whoever the washboard player is, next time y'all have an event, tell them let me sit in with y'all and just do a half a song. Not a full song, but let me do a half a song.
Yeah, we normally carry like 3 or 4 washboards and let people that don't know how to have fun. Just get up there and just be yourself. If you got a little rhythm and you count to 2 or 3, you can do the washboard.
Bruh, I got a little rhythm and I can count to 2 or 3. I can count to 2 or 3.
Oh yeah. I'll make you a pro, because that was my first instrument. I've never really practiced on the washboard. When I got the washboard, I just took off with it. So a lot of times, AJ, we don't know what we're accustomed to or what we can be good at until you really apply it or try it yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Hey, real quick, let me do this for you real quick. Hold on, Ferdinand. It won't do it.
Well, if it won't do it, while you doing it, I'll ask you this: who get traded first, J.J. Watt or Deshaun Watson?
JJ.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree. We're in agreement. Hopefully we'll be in agreement on who wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And rub some luck off on me.
All right, well, keep your ears on. I got something coming up for you, Ferdinand.
All right, appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, AJ.
All right, thank you. Ferdinand, caller of the year 2017. This is for him. Happy belated birthday, Ferdinand.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, man, that's from my close friend. Look, I claim her and Usher. That's from my close friend Jennifer Hudson. That's from her. So happy belated birthday, Ferdinand. Sorry we missed it out on that day, but like you said, man, we can celebrate any day and every day. So there we go. Big Time Floyd. What Big Time Floyd say? Big Time Floyd said, hello, AJ and the Breakers. Black History Month, everyone. It's time for DW4 to get on the Freedom Train. The Texans are heading for a major derailment. Cal McNair is simply clueless regarding the direction of the team. Let me tell you something, man. I got a chance to hear a video. I got to take a break. Let me take the break first. And then when I come back, I got to tell you about a video that I looked. I cannot play it because it was filled with talk that I can't play on this station. But I got to tell you about it. I'll do that next right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. This segment brought to you by African Imports and Lily and the Tax Doctor right here on the lunch break.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they are able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject at every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680. I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Now let's get back to the lunch break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Media Monday, but it's Black History Month. It is Black History Month, and about to do a Black History Month tribute after this next break. But I wanted to talk what Big Time Floyd said about the Texans. Let me read it again. He said, "Hello, AJ and the Breakers. Happy Black History Month, everyone. It is time for DW4, Deshaun Watson, to get on the freedom train. The Texans are headed for a major derailment. Cal McNair is simply clueless regarding the direction of the team." And there is a local guy here in Houston that has done so much for the community. He's known as Slim Thug. And I know, folks, put it this way. If you say his name, Slim Thug, that's one thing. If you use that second name to talk about black people who, are protesting or, exercising their Second Amendment rights or, get in some kind of trouble, you and I are going to have a problem. You didn't want to call the insurgents, the insurrectionists on January the 6th thugs. Don't you dare try that with other folks. Oh, Black Lives Matter. They're a bunch of thugs. All right. It's 2021. I'm just letting you know. All right. So anyway, Slim Thug, who has done so much in this community and in parts of the community that most people won't even go to, just did an off-the-top video, just off, not pre-recorded, not pre-scripted, just off the top from his emotions and feelings about the Houston Texans. And he literally went in on them. Just couldn't believe that we've gotten to a place where they could possibly lose the best quarterback that they ever had, bar none. Care about the records that Matt Schaub has. The best quarterback that they ever had was Deshaun Watson. And even in 4-12, he led the league in several categories. Been running for his life since the day he got drafted and put into the starting lineup in the second half of a game where the previous head coach said that the other guy, Tom Savage, gave them the best chance to win. And after 30 minutes of football, realized how crazy that sounded. And Deshaun Watson's been running for his life ever since. The Slim Thug was like, man, there's no way in Hades that the Texans should be in this position. And he said he's not rooting for the Texans anymore. And he's a hometown dude. Said he's rooting for players, but he ain't rooting for the Texans because, and I quote, you got talentless blank people. And the blank is a color. Talentless blank people running these organizations because they people had bread. That is one of the most profound statements there is. Think about it. What has Cal McNair, and may he rest in peace, Bob McNair, what have they done so great in the sport of football that makes them qualified to own a team other than the fact that they had the money to do it? I'll say the same thing about Jerry Jones when he bought the Cowboys. What qualified him as an owner other than the fact that he had the money to do it? Same thing about Dan Snyder. Same thing about almost all of them, other than the fact that they had the money to do it. Them buying a team didn't mean that they had talent. Them buying a team didn't mean that they had football IQ. Everybody gives them a pass for being smart because they were billionaires, but what about the people that became billionaires because their family had money? Doesn't make them great. Doesn't make them smart. And you've got several owners in every major sport that are there because they had the money. Doesn't make them a football, baseball, or basketball genius. Doesn't mean that they know how to trade and negotiate contracts. What's the number one thing you hear about what's wrong with the Dallas Cowboys? Jerry Jones. He needs to get out of the way and let football people run the organization. Dan Snyder, we just saw a report that said Dan Snyder used to sail in off his yacht and come in off his yacht and make draft picks and trades. How's that worked out for him? And we now know he's nasty and was sexually harassing people and fostering an atmosphere of sexual harassment throughout the entire organization. Just because somebody owns something doesn't mean they're talented. A lot of people own stuff because their family had the money for them to buy it. Love what Slim Thug had to say. Take a break. When I come back, I'll do that Black History Month tribute right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. This segment brought to you by OMG Tires and More, and it is Black History Month, so you can shop for African fashions for the whole family at African Imports. They got Black History Month specials, masks $4.99, scarves and hats $9.99. They've got dashikis for adults $29.99, and dresses for women $39.99 and up. Let them know you heard it on KYOK. You'll get 10% off your purchase. African Imports at Greenspoint Mall, bringing us this segment of the lunch break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Linda J. I recently purchased 4 new tires from OMG Tires and More, located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen. TK got me in and out in less than 30 minutes. While there, I got my car washed. Do you need rims for your car? OMG has them too. OMG Tires and More is your one-stop shop for all your tire needs. So give them a call at 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen on the north side.
Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, maybe losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject at every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show right here on the legendary KYOK Radio 1140 AM and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Now let's get back to the lunch break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
Big shout out to Larry Scott, Denise Scott, Natasha Marie, and the entire crew on the Not So Christian and Me show. They had another banger. This Saturday. This past Saturday, I tuned in. They had it going on, had a young man on the show doing great things. So, got to tune into that show every Saturday from 1 to 2 right here on the legendary KYOK, AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and streaming at KYOKradio.org. Keith Hennig, yeah, I agree with you. Keith said Woody Johnson is another idiot, inherited a Q-tip fortune, but knows nothing about football. I mean, we could go on and on and on. We could go on and on and on. Mark Davis, son of the legendary Hall of Fame coach Al Davis, literally fired Hugh Jackson because his dad respected Hugh Jackson's knowledge about football more than he respected it about his son. Hugh Jackson went 8-8 on a very mediocre Oakland Raider team that had a quarterback that literally quit on him, Carson Palmer. And when Al Davis died, Hugh Jackson said, well, I'm going to step up and really take, more of a leadership role in the organization. And Mark Davis, with hate in his heart, fired Hugh Jackson. No, but AJ, look what Hugh Jackson did at Cleveland. Look what Bill Belichick did at Cleveland. Don't play with me this month. Leave me alone. It's your best bet. Mark Davis knows nothing about football. Jim Buss, son of Dr. Jerry Buss, was by his dad's side the majority of the time his dad was alive and running the vaunted LA Lakers, turning them into a dynasty. Just because you're in the room doesn't mean that you learn the same lesson that everyone else is in the room. That's why they actually grade you. Some people in the room get A's. Some people in the room get B's. Some people in the room get C's. Some people in the room get D's. And some people in the room get F's in the same classroom. So just because Mark Davis and Jim Buss and Woody Johnson and Daniel Snyder and Stephen Jones, just because they are in the room with other people doesn't mean that they learned anything. They're just there because somebody in their family had the money for them to be there. And you don't have to like it. It's just true. It is just the truth. And I appreciate Slim Thug for calling it out. It was profound. I mean, you'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. All right, got to do a Black History Month tribute. It was back on yesterday, 33 years ago, January 31st, 1988, when the Washington football team met the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 22. And in that game, Washington fell down by a 10-0 score after the first quarter. But oh, baby, the second quarter showed up. And in that second quarter alone, Washington scored 35 points under the leadership of the first black quarterback to play in an NFL Super Bowl, and his name was Doug Williams out of Grambling State University under the leadership of the best college football head coach ever, bar none. And I don't care nothing about Bear Bryant or Nick Saban. I'm talking about Eddie Robinson, Mr. Eddie Robinson. Doug Williams led that team to a 35-point quarter. A 35-point quarter. It says after trailing 10-0 at the end of the first quarter of Super Bowl 22, Washington scored 42 unanswered points. 35 of them were scored in the second quarter, which was an NFL record for the most points scored in a quarter of a Super Bowl. And it was led by none other than Super Bowl 22 MVP himself, Doug Williams. He completed 18 of 29 passes for a Super Bowl record 340 yards. Threw for 4 touchdowns and only 1 interception. He also became the first player in Super Bowl history to pass for 4 touchdowns in a single quarter and 4.5. Williams became the first African-American black quarterback to start and win a Super Bowl. And that was yesterday in history, 33 years ago, yesterday in history. And I love that it was against John Elway and the Denver Broncos. I love that. I just love that. I love it. I love it. I want more of it. I do. I do. I do. It's amazing how when we get a chance, we do great things. It's amazing how when we get a chance, we do great things. So, happy Black History Month, Doug Williams. He is an executive for the Washington football team to this day. I'm going to have to get my little sister, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, or Keisha Kelly to come on and talk about Doug Williams' legacy. That dude there, that brother there. Great job, Doug. Great job. You are our Black History Month acknowledgee. Let me do another one real quick. I'm going to have to scroll down and find it. But on this day in Black history, I want to make sure I got the right date. Hold on one second. Bear with me. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Don't go anywhere. On this day in Black history, on this day in sports. Hang on. Yeah, here it is. Back in 1992. You do some math. 2021 minus 1992. 29 years ago. 29 years ago today, February 1st, 1992, Barry Bonds signed the highest single season contract in Major League Baseball history. It was for $4.7 million. 29 years ago today, Barry Bonds became the highest baseball player on a single season contract of $4.7 million. I bring that up for several reasons. There are people that would have you to believe that the only reason why Barry Bonds had the stats that he had is because of performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs. Now, if you're telling me that they had PEDs back in 1992, I'm listening. Because for Barry Bonds to sign the highest, largest one-season contract of $4.7 million, let me make sure I got it right now. 1992, Barry Bonds signed the highest single-season contract for $4.7 million. For Barry Bonds to get that contract, out of all the baseball players that ever played and that were playing at that time, means one thing: he's pretty doggone good. He was pretty doggone good. At that time, Barry Bonds was already the best of the best. Now, if you're telling me that PEDs were back in the game before that, then I'm telling you, we got to chunk a whole bunch of people out of the Hall of Fame, because they were getting in back in 1992, 1993, 1994. You see where I'm going? 1995, 1996, all the way up to 2021. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before human growth hormones and PEDs. But there are some people that want to take one segment out of a person's life and use that to define them forevermore, and nobody is more of a victim of that than Barry Bonds himself. Am I approving what Barry did? No, I'm not at all. I wish he hadn't done it. He didn't need to do it. I wish he hadn't. But am I going to sit here and say that Barry Bonds was not a Hall of Famer before then? Yeah. I mean, no. Barry Bonds was definitely a Hall of Famer before then. And now you got self-righteous writers, not baseball people, writers, who are judging this man based on a segment of his life and totally rewriting or erasing his history because they are self-righteous. I'm going there today. It's the first day of Black History Month. I'm going there. Astro fans wanted to say, oh, everybody's cheated. Everybody was stealing signs. Everybody does it. So you don't want them to write out the 2017 World Series, but bring up Barry Bonds' name and watch the difference and how they talk about cheating. It's funny how when everybody was doing it and the Astros were successful, it's no big deal. But when everybody was doing it and Barry Bonds got caught, oh yeah, he deserves it. Oh, he was mean to the media. What's that got to do with it? It's like the writer that said if he knew that Terrell Owens wasn't going to attend the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, he wouldn't have voted him in. Wait, what? You don't deserve to have a vote if you're only voting based on people showing up and doing what you want them to do. That man had a whole career before your name was even known. How come nobody said anything about steroids when, I don't know, Jeff Bagwell was getting in? I didn't say anything about steroids then. Remember how quickly everybody forgave Andy Pettit when he admitted to taking steroids? Oh, but he just did it because he wanted to get back on the field real quickly. He didn't do it to get an unfair advantage. How do we know that Biggio didn't take steroids? I dare say if Kim Caminiti hadn't died, they'd be pushing to get him in. It's amazing how when it's one set of folks, it's, oh, everybody does it, but when it's somebody else, oh yeah, he deserves it. He was mean to the media. He didn't deserve it. But back in 1992, he was awarded the highest single season contract in baseball history, $4.7 million. Black history. Black history. It's easy to try to unwrite it. It's easy to try to erase it. A lot of people are saying, boy, AJ, you've really turned dark, brother. You've really turned militant, man. Your whole shtick is about black people. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they're able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
You're listening to 1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
It is Black History Month, and you can shop for African fashions for the whole family at African Imports. They've got Black History Month specials going on. Masks $4.99, scarves and hats $9.99. If you want a dashiki for your kids, you can get them for $14.99 and up. Also, adult dashikis $29.99. And ladies, if you want those beautiful African fashion dresses, they're there at $39.99 and up, right there at African Imports in the Greenspoint Mall. If you've got an upcoming Black History program or event at your school or even virtual church, you want to stop by African Imports in Greenspoint Mall and get your African attire. Tell them KYOK sent you, and you'll get 10% off of your purchases. That's African Imports in the Greenspoint Mall. Call Opie 281-875-0056. That's 281-875-0056. Be sure and tell them AJ sent you, man. I'm telling you. Aisha Wilson, what's up? What's up, family? What's up, cuz? Today I've been seeing nothing but hate from other groups. Yeah, baby, haters are gonna hate, and I thrive off of it. It motivates me. It motivates me. Like when they say, "Oh, it shouldn't be Black History. What if we had White History Month?" You do every day. You do every day. Let me pick up a history book where you want to tell me that slavery was based on a labor force and they were happy to have jobs and stuff like that. That's White History Month. Every day. Every day. But heaven forbid we try to tell the truth. I had a teacher come for me about the 1619 project. Oh, AJ, there's a whole lot of things in there that are questionable. Brother, teacher, there's a whole lot of stuff that you finna go and teach right now that's questionable. That has been whitewashed. I said I wasn't gonna do this today. I'm gonna be nice during Black History Month. It is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, let them say it. Let them say it. If they did it right, we wouldn't have to do it, but they can't get it right. If Carter G. Woodson came up with it in 1926. So they've had from 1926 to 2021 to do it right. And guess what? They still aren't doing it right. They still aren't doing it right. So there we go. Let me see. Loretta Moss sent me a thing that I want to check into. Are you familiar with Billy Matthews, who I think was one of the first black coaches in pro football? He was from Acres Homes. When I do a Google on Billy Matthews, I get a different guy. They say he was from Santa Monica. So let me do some research on that. I'm going to do like tomorrow is Team Texas Tuesday, Black History Month. I'm going to do Black history from the state. So like we'll talk about the Billy Matthews of the world. We'll talk about the first black coaches and quarterbacks and stuff like that from, state schools and stuff like that. We'll do a lot of that. During this month. So if you've got names like that, send them to me. If you've got the information, send it to me so that I can make sure that I can verify it and we can get it going. Aisha said they are afraid to let the truth set them free. It's exactly right. I mean, I always keep asking the question, if you want me to believe being black in America is not so bad, then why are you afraid for our truth to come out? Why do you have to change our history? I say it all the time. My grandmother from Darrow, Louisiana used to tell me, if you have to keep saying something over and over again, it's probably not true. Oh, you've never had it better than you ever had it before under this president. You sure? How do you know? Oh, because somebody told me the job numbers for black people was lower. Have you seen that jobs report? Have you verified it? Did somebody just say it and you believed it? It's a difference. Folks always want to say, oh, it's fake news until it's news they want you to believe. Oh, the job report said black people got it better than they ever had before. That's the same news that you told me was fake. And oh yeah, I've been black like all my life and it doesn't feel better. If the unemployment rate goes down from 14% to 12%, I guess that's better. Still bad. I wish people would just understand and accept sometimes other people's history is what they say it is and not what they say it is. For the life of me, I can't understand why I'm supposed to honor Confederate heroes, but I haven't seen a statue yet of Nat Turner. I mean, I'm supposed to honor somebody who attacked this country and fought to bring it down, but I can't honor Nat Turner. We can't get his name on a building, a school, a statue. I mean, he was the first freedom fighter, one of. Nat Turner knew slavery was wrong when it was going on and was like fighting to end it. And somebody told me he was an outlaw. Okay, if you say so. Depends on what side of the equation you're on. I mean, Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman tried to do the same thing, just went about it different ways. I think I'm gonna get a Nat Turner shirt and wear it around, see how that goes over. Let's see what I do. See what I can come up with on that. Ursula said, right. Ursula, don't get in trouble fooling with me. Hey, Leah Brown. I love me some Leah Brown, man. I love me some Leah Brown. I probably need to do sessions with Leah Brown this week. Aisha said, only because they didn't want to face the truth. Yeah. That's one thing about the truth. It's the truth, whether people accept it or not. And as we're getting all the comments in from different black families on what they used to do back in the day or things that they do now that are, kind of like black traditions, why don't we do some of our own research and start finding the truth about our communities and our cultures? Like, I'm serious when I say I was in my 50s. This is going to sound, some people are going to roll their eyes at me and say, you ain't woke and all that. But I was in my 50s before I learned about Black Wall Street and the Tulsa riots. They weren't teaching that up in Cincinnati and down in Louisiana. They weren't teaching that. I literally did not know about Black Wall Street and the Tulsa riots until I was in my 50s. Now, part of that's on me. I mean, you know, I could have spent less time watching nonsense and more time digging in that. But now that I know, I mean, that's unimaginable. Rosewood. I mean, if it wasn't for the movie, I wouldn't have known anything about it. Again, they're not teaching that in the history books. And that's why it's important to me to, you know, in the world of sports, I'm going to honor the Doug Williamses. I'm going to honor the Eddie Robinsons. You know, I'm going to honor, you know, the Negro League players, coaches. I'm not giving credit to Cal McNair because his dad had enough money to buy a football team and he's running it in the ground. Why I got to honor Cal McNair? Once Black people learn about our history, the world will definitely be a different place. I agree. I'm a whole different person ever since I learned the little that I know. And I'll admit, I know very little. Because it's not going to be taught in a history book, at least not in schools. There are a lot of great Black athletes that came through the world of sports that never got to play in your professional leagues. But it doesn't make them any less important. There are a lot of people that are standing on the shoulders of folks that never got a chance to be recognized. In sports, they definitely don't want to acknowledge the Blacks who are dominating. It's true. I mean, when I look at, you got a Black man that hit over 900 home runs, and now that their stats and records have been added to Major League Baseball, they've tamped that down to like a couple of hundred because they can't verify it. Well, you've been suppressing it for years, for decades. You're not going to find it in an almanac. You're not going to find it in somebody's written registers. Go back and find whoever kept the the scorebook for the Negro Leagues. It's there. But you got to do work to do that. So yeah, I'm going to be honoring those kind of people this month. All right, let me get ready to go. Rockets have won 5 in a row. Can they make it 6 in a row? We'll see if they can do that tonight. When they visit the Oklahoma City Thunder at 7 o'clock. I'm loving what Stephen Silas is doing. I'm loving what he is doing. And I'm for one, I'm a Stephen Silas fan. I'm a fan of Christian Wood. I'm a fan of John Wall. I'm a fan of Victor Oladipo. I'm a fan of Boogie Cousins. I'm a fan of Jayshawn Tate. I'm a fan of Mason Jones. I'm a fan of, them. I'm happy for James Harden. I'm happy for Russell Westbrook. Did you see what Russ went off for like 46 last night? Almost had a big triple-double. And I said, I'm happy for him. But I love my Rockets. I love what Stephen Silas is doing. So they're trying to make it 6 in a row tonight. Spurs won 1 and lost 1 over the weekend. They beat Denver Friday, 119-109, and then lost to Memphis, 129-112 on Saturday. They'll host Memphis tonight at 7:30. College basketball from around the state. Number 2, Baylor remained undefeated. They beat Auburn, 84-72. U of H, Kelvin Sampson got that team rolling. They rolled SMU 70-48. Of course, on the HBCU side, Prairie View beat Alabama A&M 79-57, and Texas Southern beat Alabama State 80-73. So there you go. UT, Shaka Smart, his team and Kentucky got canceled. COVID. Monica Morris Howard, love you, Queen. What's going on? She said you're on it. Good afternoon. It's a Queen's birthday this month, and I am the Queen. Yes, you are. I need that date. I can't miss that. I might sing myself on that day. I might not let my boy Usher do it. I might do it myself on that day. I got to quit calling Usher my boy. King Usher. Respect to all Black folk this month, like never before. Keith had an interesting show today. I am looking forward to expanding my knowledge during February. Breakers, please be safe and well. Happy Monday, everyone. Same to you, Keith. Same to you. Ursula said, well, Black history is complicated and on an intricate part of this country and the whole world. Black history is as beautiful as it can get. It's a shame that people are afraid to embrace it. That's so true. That's so true. I'll say this and then I'll go. My son and I, my oldest son and I, are real big into studying right now. Like, we're studying, different things that, most folks say, oh, they don't need to worry about that, blah, 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 blah. But how many of you heard that AIDS was started in Africa because Black people were either eating or having sex with monkeys? I know it sounds crazy, but literally that's where I was told AIDS came from by a doctor, an MD, who didn't look like me. Come to find out, verifiable reports date the origin of AIDS, HIV, back to the early 1900s during World War I. During World War I, as European soldiers were in Africa and marauding through several villages and towns. And because their history was killing the men, raping the women, and pillaging the villages, when they got to a certain town, the village had vacated. The villagers left. So you had over 1,000 World War I soldiers in this African town, cold, hungry, and guess what? They themselves started hunting. Monkeys had not what's called HIV, but SIV. And they believed that it was a soldier that had a cut that acquired the SIV, which became HIV, and then started going through African towns and having inappropriate relations with prostitutes and what have you. And there were literally over 500 cases in Africa from this one person that had been traced back to that one person in the early 1900s during World War I. So yeah, it may have started in Africa, but who started it? Let me get out of the way. Let Sybil Wilkes come in and do her thing. Sybil Wilkes with her COVID-19 update right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Tomorrow is Team Texas Tuesday. We'll have Black History Month updates from the state of Texas. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize everything around you. Be sensitive to everybody around you. And when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person, but the racism. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Sunday evening, Donald Trump has announced a new legal defense team one day after he parted ways with 5 of his first impeachment lawyers. Reports indicate the 5 attorneys disagreed with his idea to use election fraud as his defense. Former Congressional Black Caucus Chair Marcia Fudge has promised, if confirmed as housing secretary in the Biden administration, she will do whatever it takes to prevent people in the midst of the pandemic to be put out on the streets. Following confirmation, the Ohio Congresswoman and former president of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated will succeed Dr. Ben Carson as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. The CDC announced a federal mandate that will require people to wear a face covering while using any form of public transportation. This includes buses, trains, taxis, airplanes, boats, subways, or rideshare vehicles. The order goes into effect at 11:59 tonight. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
Thank you, Jesus.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. It's going to be a fun month. Strap in. Hey, Shirley Walker King. I've been loving on you and your family all day today. I love y'all, man. I mean it. There are a lot of things that make you go, interesting. So let's get ready. Let's share it together. All right. As always, not this, definitely this. I love you. Black history. Y'all take care.